Yo, what's up, everyone? It's T Ultra here, and I just got done trying to go 12-0 for like the 100th time this month, and I thought I finally figured out a way to not go up against a team way better than me, and I was mistaken. I just have to talk about the matchmaking in 2K20. It's so bad. I had an 85 overall team of some pretty good budget cards. I had D Brown. I had him evolved to a Ruby at point guard. Lance Stevenson at the shooting guard. He's an amazing card. Jeff Green and another amazing card, and another amazing card. Sorry, I'm flustered right now. Giannis, great card. And then Miles Sanders. He's a decent center. He's pretty good. He can shoot. He's whatever. He's all right. And then I had Mirsan as my backup center in case I ran into like a giant or whatever. But I'm 10-0, right? It's late at night. I'm just going to say this. I started it after midnight and I played 10 games. I got quite a few rage quits, but a lot of them came after halftime. So it was late. I was ready to finally go 12-0. It's almost the end of the month. And I'm like, you know what? The whole time I was playing, I played fair competition. I was playing teams that were, I think I played a 91 overall. That was the highest, but his team wasn't like ridiculously like great. And I played, most of the teams I played were around my rating of 85. Well, all of a sudden, the 11th game out of 12 comes up. I play this 94 overall team, and it's not even necessarily his starting lineup that is the most ridiculous part, even though that is ridiculous. He was starting Russell Westbrook, Klay Thompson, Kawhi, Larry Bird, and Hakeem, all pink diamonds, all great cards. It's the fact that he had a bench. Like, the matchmaking in this game makes no sense because you literally have to start an all bronze bench, essentially, to keep your overall lower, because that's what everyone else is doing. But then even when you do that, you run into one team somewhere along the way that is an absolute god squad, and like I ended up losing by like 8 or 9 points to this guy. And it's like, so I played 10 games, I spent all this time playing, and I played really well in my 11th game, but his cards were amazing, and he had a bench so he could sub people in. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, I had no chance. And it was even cheesy because he had pink diamond Yao Ming, so then I had to put Mirsan in, and then I couldn't shoot from my center position. It was just a mess. And even after that, I ended up losing by, it was less than 10. I think it was 8 or 9. And it was just ridiculous. And the game just like wanted me to lose. It kept doing that stuff where like you would move the joystick like barely at all, and your player would just go flying. If you were on offense, you go flying out of bounds, or if you're on defense, you're trying to guard the guy and you move the joystick one direction, and your guy just goes completely flying away like towards the basket, and then the guy just has the ball at the top of the arc and he just shoots it and makes it every time because, like I said, his team is goated. And he was a good player. I'm not trying to say he wasn't, but I am too, and it's just really frustrating that happened. And with 2K dropping all these like amazing cards, I have a team, I'll put it on the screen, that is really good. It's like a 96 overall, but even that team, I have a lot of really good cards that just came out, but even already they're getting outdated because 2K keeps dropping amazing cards every week that just keep one-upping the cards that they just released the week before. So it's just impossible between all these new god cards that are coming out, combined with the terrible matchmaking. It's just insane. I just had to address that in a video because I've been trying to go 12-0 all month. Like, I haven't been like, trying repeatedly over and over and over, but I've probably tried and failed like 7 times. And it's really annoying because, I'm 10-1 now, so I'm going to play the last game, but it's not really even worth the reward. Like, these rewards are terrible. They're not worth it. Like, the only reason you would play MyTeam Unlimited is to get the reward, the card for going 12-0. There's no other incentive to do it. Even if you go 11-1, you get nothing. It's not worth it. You can play a few games of Triple Threat online and get, the same reward out of that. And not to mention, the cards that you get for winning are not that good. Like this Moses Malone, I've heard he's pretty good, but when you see people running their God squads, you don't often see that card. It's not very common. I would probably use it, but I don't know, it'd be a bench player, and it might be like an end of bench player that I only play sparingly, if at all. And I don't know. I just had to get that on video. I really wish that we could just play unlimited without having to have an entire bronze bench for the most part. And I wish that it would match you up with teams that make sense, because of the matchmaking. That's the reason why I had no bench. It was because I'm like, I have to keep my overall as low as possible so I don't go up against, a 94 overall team. And then what happens is you still get matched up with them and you don't even have a bench. And I honestly think if I would have had a bench with other good players on it, I would be able to sub them in and they'd be fresh, and it would have been a different game, because like I said, I barely lost. But it is what it is. It's almost the end of the month. I don't know if I'm going to go 12-0, which is really frustrating, because if I go 12-0 this month, I get Clyde Drexler as well, which means that's the last card I need to get Julius Erving. And I don't know if there's going to be another chance to get those cards. And I want them for a collector level and just, to have them. And I also get that Moses Malone. So I get 3 cards that, I want. But it's almost impossible. So I've made a couple of videos about my teams that I used to go 12-0. And I feel like at the beginning of the year, the game was different. The matchmaking wasn't as bad. You would actually get matched up with teams that, were level with you, at least from my experience. But I honestly would just ignore that. I honestly think your only chance is to put together the best possible team you can, which I know sounds weird because that should be obvious, but I usually prefer to play a lineup like I was playing with tonight, or I should say last night by the time this is posted, where, I have good cards, but they're not amazing. Like, I'm good with them. Like D Brown, he's a Ruby. Jeff Green, a Ruby. Obviously Giannis is amazing, and Lance Stevenson is very good for an Amethyst. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like, I like to run lineups that I'm good with, and I like to avoid playing people online where they inbound the ball to the point guard, and then they bring it up, and then they throw it to the shooting guard who's trailing, who has like Hall of Fame range extender, 99 3-pointer, can't miss no matter what. And then they just go back, just do that back and forth. And it's like, I can't compete with that because I have good cards on my best team, but I just can't play like that. Like, it's not my style. I like to play a more traditional, you can run fast break, like, on misses and stuff, but I like to do a little bit of half-court offense where you're actually doing stuff. And I'll 5 out. I'll do pick and roll. Like, I switch it up. I do all sorts of stuff. I'll run a few plays. And, I just want to avoid all that cheese, but it's just so frustrating when you play a team like this, especially when you're 10-0, man. You got 2 more games left and it's late at night, and it's just so frustrating. So I haven't made a rant video yet on my channel, so I was feeling it right now. I'm in that moment. I'm probably not going to post this for a little bit, but yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. So let me know if you agree. Like, what can they do to fix it? Like, if anything, with how many people play this game, you should be able to find a matchup that's like plus or minus a couple overall from you. Like, even if it means you have to wait a little bit, like, I would much rather wait like a minute, and play teams that are fair. And that goes both ways. Like, when I play with my very best team, I'll play teams just randomly that are just awful. And it's like, I feel so bad for the person that I'm playing because that's so fun for them. And like, I know a lot of people can be like, oh, well, if you're so good, you should be able to beat them anyways. And it's like I said, I literally lost by less than 10, and it was close the entire game. I actually got out to a 9-0 lead, and then literally the game just kept screwing me over and over again with like these random turnovers that should never happen. And this guy was getting just these crazy shots because his cards are amazing. Like, even in the post, I would have like 3 guys there, and he'd just be dunking over all of them. Or like, the paint defense is just unreal, so bad in this game. I'd have like 2 guys like in the paint on this center, and then I'd jump with one, I'd have his hands up, I'd be all over the guy, and then I'd time it perfectly, and he would just like do this like glitchy thing right around me, and it'd be like a, whatever percent contest, like not enough, and it would go in. Like, it's so frustrating. And he'd get all of the offensive rebounds even when I forced a miss. It was just unbelievable. So yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Little rant for you. Let me know if you agree. Let me know what they can do differently. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'll post some more positive content moving forward, but I just had to get that off my chest. So hopefully we can go 12-0 before the month is over, but it's going to be tough. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out.